What's up, everybody? It is Jim from VOC Flight Deck. I am here today with my first video. It is going to be an unboxing video, not of this UMX A10 behind me. That is actually sold. I sold that to someone. But I'm going to be unboxing this, which I just got in the mail today. It is the F-15 Eagle 64mm bind and fly basic EDF jet from Horizon Hobby Eflite. It is a small jet. The reason that I chose this jet, I'm an intermediate flyer. I fly P-28 Trojan. I fly a lot of trainers, and I've done some smaller things, but this will be my first EDF jet. So I kind of Googled what was going to be my best bet for my skill level and moving into EDFs for the first time, and this jet popped up more times than not. There's a few other ones that also popped up, but I chose this one for the price point, $179 bind and fly off of HorizonHobby.com. That, and it's got safe mode, which if you're familiar with Spectrum and Horizon Hobby and E-Flite, safe mode is obviously a mode where your plane will stay level. You're not going to be able to do any acrobatics. In fact, if you switch into safe mode while you're out, barrel rolling or whatever you decide to do, fly inverted, it will level your plane out for you. So this thing, I'm told, goes up to 100 miles an hour, which is super fast. It's not a huge plane. In fact, the box, when it came today, was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. I actually thought this thing was going to be much bigger, but I mean, it's a fairly decent plane. Size-wise, 64mm. This is the bind and fly basic, no battery. It does come with a receiver, no transmitter, no charger. I have all that stuff covered from Spectrum. I'm going to run this on my DX8 Gen 1. Looking into getting a DX9 Black, or possibly even an IX12. But for now, I'm going to run this on my DX Gen 1. It does have the 6-channel receiver from Spectrum. Yeah. And then, of course, safe mode, as we talked about. It has the removable landing gear, and I've watched a lot of videos on this, and I've seen people fly it. And the landing gear, it's suspect in front, and it can break very easily. So I may possibly, because I do a lot of park flying, I'm going to be flying at the local high school at the football field where I fly a lot. I may possibly take the wheels off of this particular jet and belly land it. Just because I don't want to go through the hassle of breaking the landing gear, the front, the nose, whatever. So I'm not going to build this jet today, guys. I may put up a build video later. I know there's not a lot to it. You do have to glue the stabilizers on, as far as I know. We'll see when we open this thing, but let's get it open and let's see what's inside. I paid the $19.99 to get this in 2 days. I did it on a Friday, which wasn't very smart. Saturday and Sunday don't count. It ended up coming Tuesday, which I think it probably would have come had I not paid the $19.99 for the 2-day from Horizon Hobby. But you know what? I have it, and I'm happy. So let's pull this thing out. I'm in a smaller room, guys. This is my shop. I work on my stuff as well as other people's things here. Mostly work on my stuff after I wreck it. But so it's not a huge area, but I like it. And I've got all my stuff in here that I need. Get this out of here. All right. So when you get it packed up nice, as you would expect from Horizon Hobby E-Flite. Very small, guys. This is compact. I don't know if you can tell how big this is, but it is not big. Comes in several pieces. As I said, you do it. It does take a little bit of gluing, so make sure you have your preferred glue on hand. I myself use epoxy and epoxy mix. Right now I'm using Bob Smith epoxy, and I stumbled onto that actually because it was all they had at this local hobby shop that I hit, so ended up getting it. But let's just pop this thing open. All right, guys, so one thing I saw when I was watching another unboxing video, and there are several unboxing videos of this jet, but I thought you guys might want to see it from the perspective of someone who's getting their first jet. This is my first jet. First jet I've ever opened like this. I did buy, and I'll show you guys real quickly, I did buy this used from the hobby shop owner. Same place I got the Bob Smith epoxy. It is a Habu 2, EDF 2, but I have not put this thing in the air yet. There's no receiver in it. I have a Spectrum receiver I'm going to throw in this. It's in really good shape. It's a Habu. It's going to be much faster. There's no safe mode, so my goal is to obviously fly my F-15 before I move on to this Habu. So back to the unboxing. And when you lift this up, you're going to notice, guys, and I saw this on another unboxing video, be very careful because they've actually tucked some of the wing parts, inside, some of the wing parts inside the foam that goes across. So there we go. You can see everything's installed there. I love the color on this, guys. It is called Splinter Camo. It is the original camo that was on the F-15 Eagle. I really like the color scheme. Some people were a little bit worried because you have the blue, the white, and the gray that when you put this in the sky that it's going to blend in a lot with the sky. But the videos I've seen, there's been no issues with that. However, I guess I'll know that when I do my maiden. But I think it's got enough white and enough contrast that you're going to be okay there. And I really do like this color, that Splinter Camo. Same thing here. This other side is tucked in. Let's get two of those, obviously. And pull this off. I'll make a mess in this room and then pick it up later. I should have probably grabbed a razor blade for this. It will muddle through. Got your missiles, torpedoes. I'm an Army guy, not an Air Force guy, so they could be missiles, they could be torpedoes. I don't know. I was a grunt on the ground carrying a rucksack. No torpedoes for me. This off. Pull these out. And you're gonna have two of these little babies right here. This is all gonna be the scale stuff, you know, the decorative. I've seen guys that don't put this stuff on or they take it off. So yeah, I mean, but it's all in there and I think it's pretty cool. You know, it really adds to the original F-15 Eagle. Let's pull out the main fuselage here. I think that's what everybody's kind of interested in. I know that's what I'm interested in. Pull this baby out gently. So here is your main fuselage, your main body. As I said, man, this is not a gigantic jet. 64 millimeter. Obviously, they measure that, you know, the fans, but this is a fairly decent sized jet, you know. So I really like it, man. I really like it. Obviously, you're going to have your internals for your battery hookup, and you've got there's your receiver there, the AS3X. This is going to be the AR635 8 receiver, if I'm not blind, which I kind of am. But there you go. So that's what that's your fuselage, guys. Pops in there, magnetized, just like all the rest. Now you're going to see that this is actually metal here. Let me show you. Let me get you this closer. This is where that front landing gear goes that I talked about that can be problematic, or so I'm told can be problematic. And this is metal. So I don't know. You can take this off and belly land it. I think I'm probably going to do that. I may fly it once off the street and try to land it once off the street just for the look and to see how I like it. But I'm guessing that I'm going to end up turning this into a belly lander. Yeah, I love the decals on here. I love the look of this particular jet. Super glad to get it. Horizon does advertise this jet as your first jet. You know, and I think it probably is with the safe mode and the way that it flies, the speed, you know. Here's another issue though, guys, I'm going to tell you, and we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this in my maiden flight video if I do one. When it's in safe mode, apparently it's very, very hard to turn. And I know that you've flown trainers, or some of you that have flown trainers, and if you don't have, you know, if you're in safe mode, you're not really able to turn too sharp. So you need a big area to fly this thing if you're going to fly in safe mode. Obviously you can fly it in a smaller area if you're a more experienced pilot, or once you get used to it and you take it out of safe mode, because it's going to corner much easier. But here's your manual, nice and big, you know. Obviously there's going to be 50 different languages in here that I don't speak. F-15 Eagle 64mm EDF. Bind and Fly is the one I chose. As I said, I'll put it on my DX8, but this is the instruction manual for both the Bind and Fly and the plug and play version. Here, more of our wing pieces, stabilizer pieces. Just great detail on these guys, man. I really dig the look of this plane. I really do. So if you're looking for your first jet, I wouldn't start with this plane though. If it's your first plane, you know, you need to go for something a little easier. I started out on the Super Cub, and then I went from there to a Firebird Stratus Eflite, which you can't get anymore, but I love the plane. It's actually behind me. You can see it back here, the red and white one under my Super Cub, just above my Zero. I love that plane, man. I beat the hell out of that plane. It'll flip for me, you know, it'll roll, it'll do all kinds of stuff if you make it, but I've wrecked it maybe 100 times when I was first starting, because I was going crazy with it, and I fix it all the time. So grab yourself something like that, a Timber, a Super Cub, you know, something along those lines, small, maybe a little Sport Cub. Don't start with a jet. But once you're ready for a jet, I believe this is the one to get. Now, what I like about this, most of the nose piece is foam. It's your hard foam, but the top is plastic, and I like that. I really like it when they reinforce noses like that. Noses are the thing you're replacing a lot, so there's that. Got more of our pieces here. Set those over here. Here is your landing gear, guys. My box fell down. Here is your landing gear. Obviously, this is going to be for your front landing gear. It's going to go into that metal post that I showed you. Here's your left and right landing gear here. Very nice. I mean, real nice metal, nice tires. It's well done. This is movable, by the way, guys. The front does turn, so you can control it. That being said, I'm told that it isn't that great. Some people said that what they've done is taken carbon fiber and put it over these. But this feels pretty solid to me. So the videos I've watched said that this was pretty weak, and I don't know that I buy that. Maybe they've reinforced it since then. Something I could probably look into, but I don't know. Bind plug, your little bag of goodies here. Bind plugs, servo arms, you know, extra screws, all that junk. So yeah, guys, you know, everything you need is in this box. Obviously, you've got a few extra decals, stickers if you want to put them over, I'm assuming over the top of some of these servo insert pieces. And again, the detail there. So there it is, guys. It is the 64mm E-Flite EDF with safe. And I think that's what makes it so great. So if you're looking to get into jets and you are a somewhat experienced flyer, I wouldn't recommend this for a first plane. I'd recommend it for maybe a second, third plane, somewhere in that area. And that's after, of course, that you've mastered the planes that you're flying. $179.99 on Horizon is what I paid for this. I think you can maybe go to Tower if they have it. Sometimes they have a $15 or a $25 off program running there, and usually those codes are right on the front page. But yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. That's everything that's in the box. I showed it to you. It's going to be a fun jet to fly. As I said, my first EDF that I will put in the air. I do have my Habu, but I won't be flying that. I plan to do more videos here, guys, at VOC, the flight deck. I'm a ring announcer by trade. I do MMA and boxing, appeared on TV and things like that. Right now I've got my quarantine beard going. But I just wanted to share with you guys my new jet that I just got in the mail. So hopefully it answers some of your questions, guys. 100 miles an hour. You know, it's a good jet. It really, really is. I can't wait to fly it, man. I studied this thing a lot before I actually picked it up, and I'm glad that I was able to finally pick it up, and I can't wait to fly it, and hopefully I'll have a video for you guys then. Thanks for joining me, man. It's been Jim at VOC, the flight deck, and I'll see you guys in the next video.